All right, welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today into some relationship advice. The age-old questions: when to marry, who to marry, all that. We're taking a look at a YouTube video this time. It's got these two speakers, PK and PM, and let me tell you, they've got some pretty strong opinions about all this. Really, don't hold back.
No kidding. PK, right off the bat, he's saying men should marry. Basically, as soon as possible, Gotta get that
Well, here you
helper.
go, huh?
Yeah, he even used himself as an example. Said his wife, she helped him achieve all his goals way faster.
So it's all about like marriage as a strategy, like a partnership for success.
It seems that way, right? But then later on, he kind of softens it a bit.
Oh yeah.
He says 24 isn't like a hard rule.
Okay.
More like 27 to 30 is a better age for men to think about marriage. Because,
Mm.
men mature later, he says.
Makes you wonder, though, what happened between 24 and 27? What made him change his mind?
Yeah, good point. Like, what experiences did he have?
Yeah.
Or, did he just realize there's more to it, more to marriage than just practicality, like emotional maturity?
Right, like maybe being ready matters, too.
Exactly. And speaking of things that make you think, this whole helper thing, PK keeps using that word. And it's kind of, well, it's interesting.
Helper. Yeah. Not sure I love that word choice.
Right. Makes you wonder what he really means by that.
Yeah.
What does it say about how he sees marriage
Mm.
and gender roles? Like, is he saying women are there just to support their husband's goals?
It definitely makes you think about like expectations in a marriage
Mhm.
and roles. I gotta say, helper feels a little, I don't know, loaded.
Yeah, I hear that. Like, could be interpreted in a lot of different ways.
Totally. So how do we even understand this helper idea, you know, in a marriage,
Yeah.
especially today?
Well, you can see it as that kind of traditional view.
Right.
Husband's the breadwinner, wife takes care of the home. Maybe that appeals to some people who like things clear cut. Like, each person has their role.
But does that even work anymore? I mean, today, women are working, building their own careers.
Right. And that's where it gets tricky. Like, if both people are going for it, trying to reach their full potential, it feels limiting, doesn't it?
Definitely. So then can the helper thing evolve? Like, can it be more balanced?
That's the question, isn't it? What does helper even mean in a modern relationship?
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be about one person being subservient? Or can it be about mutual support, empowering each other? That's something for everyone listening to think about. Now, PM, she comes in with a totally different angle. She noticed that a lot of men, they think they need to be older than their wives, significantly older. And she's not really okay with that.
Yeah, that raises some red flags for sure.
She's worried about power dynamics.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's not enough respect there in those relationships.
I wonder, though,
Right.
are these men actually looking for respect? Or is it something else?
PM thinks it might be more about control. Like, the age difference, it creates this imbalance where the older person might have more influence because of their experience or money or, social status.
So is it about feeling powerful or validated? Or is it possible that those relationships with the age gap, can they actually be based on real connection, like true respect?
It's complicated. There's no easy answer. And PM, she gets even more specific. She talks about, the TikTok generation. She actually says younger women, they're immature and influenced by social media and don't respect older men.
Whoa, hold on. That's a pretty big statement. Every generation has its quirks, right? But to say a whole generation lacks respect, I don't know about that. It feels a little unfair to lump everyone together just because of their age or because they use social media.
I agree. Generalizations, they can be dangerous.
Totally. So maybe instead of judging a whole generation, we should ask, like, what are the specific things PM is seeing? And how is it all connected to the stuff younger people are dealing with today? Their challenges and opportunities, too.
Right, let's try to understand. Instead of just dismissing them.
It's about looking deeper,
Right,
challenging those assumptions.
exactly. Now, PM also gets really practical. She gives advice to women in their 30s. Tells them, when picking a partner, go for financial stability
Right.
over a high salary.
Interesting. That makes sense in a way. Like, as we get older, our priorities change, right? Financial stability becomes a bigger deal, especially for women. I mean, there's so much pressure from society about age and having kids, all that.
It's true. Choosing a partner, it's more than just romance or a fancy job title. It's about finding someone who's on the same page, about building a good life together, a
Yeah.
stable life.
It's the long game, not just the initial spark.
Exactly. And both PK and PM, they talk about the risks of marrying later, the pressures for both men and women as they get older.
like there's this timeline, right? And if you don't follow it, suddenly everyone's judging you.
Totally. PK, he's worried older men are out of the mix, competing with younger guys. And PM, she warns that older women are seen as a childbearing risk and might have to lower their standards.
It's rough. All these societal pressures and double standards, especially for women, makes you think how much of it is from outside and how much of it is us, like our own internalized stuff.
Great question. And it's something everyone listening should consider.
Yeah.
How much is society influencing how we see relationships and the choices we make? It's kind of crazy how powerful those expectations are.
Mm.
Society's expectations, like they really shape how we see things, what's normal
Yeah.
or what we should want in a partner.
It's like we're programmed to see relationships in this one very specific way. Anything outside of that, it feels wrong or even scary.
Yeah, like there's a script we're supposed to follow.
Right.
And if you step off the path, you get judged.
For sure. And it feels like women get hit harder
Mhm.
with that judgment, especially as they age. PM, she said something about women in their 30s and 40s feeling pressure to settle. That really got to me.
Yeah, it's a tough topic. But we got to talk about it. That whole idea that women are less valuable as they get older, it's so harmful. And it's everywhere.
Sad, right? Like, women have to lower their standards. It's just because of their age. It's not right.
Nope. Women deserve to find someone who values them for who they are, not their age, or whether they can have kids, like men do.
Totally. Love doesn't have an expiration date. People can find happiness at any age. We got to remember that.
Exactly. And it's getting better slowly.
Yeah.
Online dating and all that, people are more open to different kinds of relationships, different ages, backgrounds. It's happening more.
That's a good sign, right? We're becoming more accepting of different kinds of love.
For sure. Connection and compatibility, that's what
Mhm.
matters, not age or any of that superficial stuff.
Right. It's about being open to possibilities, not limiting ourselves with all these beliefs about, love having a timeline.
Absolutely. Now, let's go back to PK for a second.
Yeah.
His whole thing about a helper. I want to dig into that a little more.
Yeah, having support is great. No
Yeah.
question. But that word just doesn't sit right.
It sounds a bit transactional, doesn't it? Like marriage is just a deal. Woman's there to support the man's goals. That's her job.
It feels so old-fashioned, like back when men worked and women stayed home.
Yeah. Makes you wonder about the power dynamic. Is it really equal?
And does the woman get to have her own goals, her own dreams? Or is it all about him?
Right. We can't really know. Without getting deeper into PK's head, maybe he's trying to say something about mutual support, partnership, but the words he's using, they kind of send a different message.
Lost in translation.
Exactly. It just shows how important words are. When we talk about relationships, even small choices, they can have a big impact.
Definitely. Like PM's point about older men and younger women, that was eye-opening. The whole respect versus control thing.
Yeah, lots to unpack there. On the surface, maybe some men are just looking for admiration, respect. But PM makes a good point. When there's a big age gap, it can get kind of messed up, the power balance.
So can it ever be truly respectful? Truly equal?
That's the big question.
Right.
I mean, it's possible for couples with age gaps to have a good, healthy relationship, but they got to be really self-aware and communicate, make sure both people feel heard
Yeah.
and respected.
They have to acknowledge the age difference.
Yeah.
Talk about the challenges openly.
Exactly. It's not about judging anyone. It's about having honest conversations about the potential problems and how to deal with them.
So PM's advice for women in their 30s. About choosing financial stability over a high salary. What do you think about that? Pretty practical, huh?
Definitely. Makes sense. As we get older, our priorities shift. When you're younger, a big paycheck might seem awesome, but then you realize real financial security, it's more than that.
Yeah, it's about finding someone who's responsible, shares your values about money, someone who wants to build a stable future with you.
Exactly. It's not about appearances. It's
Yeah.
about those deeper qualities, the stuff that really matters for a lasting relationship.
It's the long game.
Right. And PM's advice, it's especially relevant for women who are thinking about, starting a family or making other big life decisions. You need a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Financially.
It's about setting yourself up for success in all areas.
It's exactly. Financial stability, it's a big part of a happy relationship. If you're not stressed about money all the time, you can focus on other things. Connecting with your partner, following your passions, building a family, whatever you want.
It's about abundance, not just money, but love, joy, experiences.
Beautifully said.
Mhm.
And choosing a partner. Financial compatibility is just as important as everything else, emotions, intellect. You got to be on the same page.
In it together, every way. Now, both PK and PM, they talked about the downsides of getting married later. PK's worried about older men getting left behind, and PM says women might feel pressure to settle.
It goes back to those societal pressures. We talked about that before. It can be tough, being single later in life.
Yeah, it's like there's this message that if you're not married by a certain age, you're a failure.
It's a shame, but it's just a message, not the truth. People can find love, find happiness at any age. We have to remember that. Our worth doesn't go down over time.
And it's happening more and more. People are pushing back against those old ideas, finding love outside the normal age range, choosing different ways to be together.
It's a good thing. It shows we're making progress.
Love doesn't care about age. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
It's good to see things changing, right? Happily ever after doesn't look the same for everyone.
It really doesn't. People are making their own choices. Society's changing too. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Before we finish up, I want to go back to PM's advice about financial stability. For women in their 30s, it was interesting. Kind of flips the script, like it's not always about the man being the provider.
Exactly. Things are different now. Women are independent.
Yeah.
Sharing responsibility is important more and more.
It's not just about him taking care of you. It's about finding someone smart with money who has the same values about it that you do.
Right. It's about building a life together, both contributing, supporting each other financially, and every other way.
Teamwork. Real partnership.
Yeah, that's it. And it kind of brings us back to the big picture, doesn't it? Relationships are changing.
Totally. Everything's shifting. Ideas about age, marriage, roles. It's not like the old days anymore, where everything was so strict.
It's exciting, isn't it? There's so much freedom, more choices. You can create a relationship that actually fits you, what you want.
Rate your own happily ever after.
Exactly. So as we wrap up here, think about everything we talked about. What PK said, what PM said.
Yeah, they had different views about age, marriage, all that. What stuck with you? Did anything change your mind about things?
And the big question, what does it all mean for you, for your relationships?
We want to hear from you. Head over to our website, our social media. Tell us what you think.
We love hearing from you guys.
This has been great. Really enjoyed this deep dive. Thanks for being here.
It's always fun to chat with you, get into these tricky topics.
And to everyone listening, until next time, keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
All right, diving in today on something that I think a lot of people can relate to, and that's safely leaving a toxic relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah.
And we've got a really interesting source here, a YouTube video called How to Safely Leave a Toxic Relationship with a Narcissist.
Okay.
It's from the Mental Healness channel. And the host is Lee Hammock, who openly identifies as a self-aware narcissist.
Interesting.
So he's really kind of giving this perspective from both sides. You know?
Yeah, that's a perspective you don't often get.
Yeah.
To have someone who's been on both sides of it and is willing to dissect it. So honestly, I think it's incredibly valuable.
It is. And one of the things that really struck me from Lee's video is he just like hammers home this idea of safety
Yeah.
as being the absolute top priority
Right.
when leaving a narcissist. You know, why is that? Especially given your expertise, like why is that so crucial?
Well, leaving a narcissist isn't like ending a typical relationship. It triggers something very primal in them.
Okay.
And it's a need to regain control. And so their entire sense of self-worth is often built on manipulating and controlling others.
Okay.
And when you try to break free, it's a direct attack on their carefully constructed reality.
It's almost like you're poking a bear.
Right.
You're disrupting that whole system of control.
Exactly.
And that's when things can get really dangerous.
Exactly. That's when things can get dangerous.
Yeah.
And this is where understanding the concept of narcissistic supply comes in.
Okay.
This is the attention, admiration, validation that a narcissist needs to feed their ego.
Right.
When a partner tries to leave, it cuts off that supply,
Okay.
which leaves them feeling threatened, exposed, and that's when they're most likely to lash out,
Right.
using manipulation, emotional abuse, or even violence to try and regain that upper hand.
Lee actually shares a personal anecdote about his own wife leaving him. That really brings this point home.
Yeah.
And he talks about how she planned her exit very strategically, very quietly,
Right.
while he was out of the house.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's a textbook example of prioritizing safety
Yeah.
over confrontation. She understood his tendencies,
Right.
and she knew that a direct approach would likely escalate the situation.
Right.
By leaving discreetly, she minimized the risk to herself and was able to get to a safe place.
And it really underscores this need to have an exit plan.
Yes.
It's not about being dramatic.
Yeah.
It's about protecting yourself and, if applicable, any children that might be involved. So,
Right. It's about understanding the potential dangers and taking calculated steps
yeah,
to mitigate those risks.
totally. It's strategic planning.
Like a
Military operation.
Yes, you have to think several steps ahead, anticipate the narcissist's reactions, and create a plan that prioritizes safety above all else.
Now, another point that Lee makes is the importance of really carefully selecting your support system
Yeah.
during this process. And he even uses the term flying monkeys
Oh, yeah.
to describe people who might enable the narcissist or unwittingly become their pawns.
Yeah, flying monkeys, that's a perfect term for it.
It's a great term.
It really captures the role these individuals play.
Yeah.
They might be well-meaning friends, family members, or even colleagues who have been manipulated by the narcissist into seeing things their way.
Right.
They might try to convince you to stay,
Right.
minimize the abuse, or even spread misinformation about you. The danger is that they become extensions of the narcissist's control,
Right.
making it even harder to break free.
So when Lee's talking about building a support system,
Yeah.
he's saying be really discerning about who you confide in.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's about identifying those people who are truly on your side,
Mm.
who will believe you, validate your experiences, and support your decision to leave without judgment or pressure.
Yeah.
These are the people who will offer a safe space for you to process your emotions, strategize your exit, and rebuild your life.
Mm.
It might be a small circle, but it needs to be strong and trustworthy.
Yeah. And this support system can extend beyond personal relationships as well,
Absolutely.
because Lee mentions seeking professional help too.
Right. Therapists, counselors, support groups specializing in narcissistic abuse can be invaluable.
Right.
They can help you understand the dynamics of the abuse,
Okay.
develop coping mechanisms, and create a safety plan tailored to your specific situation. And don't underestimate the power of having a professional in your corner
Yeah.
who can offer that guidance and support throughout this challenging process.
It's clear that leaving a narcissist isn't something that you just do on a whim.
Right.
Lee emphasizes this need for having backup plans in place, almost like expecting the unexpected.
Yeah.
Why is that contingency planning so crucial?
Because when dealing with a narcissist, you can never fully predict their reactions.
Oh, yeah.
They might seem calm one minute and erupt the next.
Yeah.
They might try to guilt trip you into staying or use other forms of manipulation to undermine your efforts to leave.
Right. So having these backup plans is about anticipating these obstacles
Yeah.
and already having strategies in place.
Exactly. Being proactive, prepared.
Yeah.
Not about being paranoid.
Oh.
It's about minimizing the potential for harm and creating as smooth and safe of an exit as possible.
He gives some pretty specific tactics, like having someone monitor the narcissist's whereabouts during the actual exit or arranging for safe transportation
Right.
in case things go sideways.
Yes.
Then-
And it might sound extreme, but remember we're talking about situations where someone's safety is at risk.
Yeah.
These measures are about being proactive and prepared,
Yeah.
not paranoid.
It's about safety.
Exactly.
And this brings us to one of the most unsettling aspects, I think, of leaving a narcissist.
Yeah.
And that's the potential impact on children.
Right.
And Lee just gives this stark warning about narcissists using children as leverage or even harming them
Right.
to hurt their ex-partner.
It's a chilling reality,
Yeah.
but one that we can't shy away from.
Narcissists often lack empathy,
Right.
and they see children as possessions or
Yeah.
extensions of themselves.
Right.
They might use them to try and control their ex-partner, to elicit sympathy, or even to inflict emotional pain.
He even suggests that in some cases, a narcissist might harm a child to punish their former partner.
That's right, and it's a horrifying thought.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crucial to understand that a narcissist's actions are often driven by their own needs and desires,
Right.
and they may not prioritize the well-being of the children.
So what steps can someone take to protect their children in this type of situation?
Well, it starts with being aware of the potential dangers.
Okay.
Don't assume that just because the narcissist claims to love their children, they won't use them as pawns.
Mm-hmm.
Document any instances of manipulation, emotional abuse, or threats
Right.
involving law enforcement and having a solid custody plan in place is essential.
Right. You can't afford to take chances when it comes to the safety and well-being of your children.
It's a sobering reminder that leaving a narcissist isn't just about escaping a toxic relationship.
Right.
It's about protecting yourself and your loved ones
Yeah.
from potential harm.
Exactly. It's a decision that requires careful consideration, planning, and above all,
Yeah,
a commitment to prioritizing safety.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lee also highlights the importance of financial consideration.
Right. Yeah, especially for partners who might be financially dependent.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge point.
Yeah.
Financial abuse is a common tactic
Okay.
used by narcissists to maintain control.
Right.
They might restrict your access to money,
Mhm.
sabotage your employment opportunities,
Right.
or burden you with debt, making it incredibly difficult to leave.
So they're almost creating like a financial prison
Exactly.
to trap their partner.
They want to make you feel helpless and dependent,
Okay.
which makes it easier for them to manipulate and control you.
So what are some steps that someone can take to start regaining that financial independence,
Right.
even if they're still in the relationship?
Well, it can be challenging,
Yeah.
but it's essential to start planning as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, discreetly open a separate bank account.
Okay.
Start putting money aside.
Right.
Look for employment opportunities, even if it's just part-time or freelance work.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating that financial safety net.
Right.
So you're not completely reliant on the narcissist when you leave.
Lee shares a story about his friend Heather, who spent 18 months carefully planning her exit strategy,
Wow.
including securing her finances.
That's a powerful illustration of the importance of patience
Yeah.
and long-term planning.
Yeah.
Leaving a narcissist is rarely a quick or easy process.
Right.
It takes time to build up your resources, your support network, and your emotional resilience.
It sounds like patience really is a virtue
It is.
in these situations.
It is.
It's not just packing a bag and walking out the door.
Yep.
This is a much more...
It's more like a strategic extraction than a simple departure.
Yeah.
You have to be smart, calculated, and prepared for any eventuality.
And it requires a complete shift in mindset, too.
It does.
Right.
You have to move from a place of hoping things will get better
Yeah.
to accepting the reality of the situation
Mm.
and prioritizing your own survival.
And Lee really emphasizes that.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate a narcissist's capacity for manipulation.
Right.
He says they are masters at twisting the narrative
Yeah, you are.
and making you doubt your own sanity.
Absolutely. And they'll use gaslighting,
Okay.
which is a manipulative tactic where they distort reality
Oh, wow.
to make you question your own perceptions and memories.
Okay.
They'll deny things they've said or done,
Mm-hmm.
blame you for their actions, and try to convince you that you're the one with the problem.
Wow. So how can someone protect themselves from this kind of manipulation?
Yeah,
It sounds incredibly disorienting
it is.
and damaging to your self-esteem.
This is where having that strong support system becomes so vital.
Okay.
Those trusted friends, family members, or professionals
Right.
can provide an objective perspective
Mm.
and remind you of the truth when the narcissist is trying to gaslight you.
Yeah.
It's like having an anchor to reality
Okay.
when you're in the middle of a storm.
And it's about trusting your own instincts, too, right?
Absolutely.
Like if something feels wrong, if something feels off.
If it feels wrong, it probably is.
Yeah.
Don't let the narcissist convince you that you're crazy or imagining things.
Mm.
You know yourself better than anyone else.
Lee also talks about the importance of setting firm boundaries,
Yeah.
even after you've left the relationship.
Yes.
And he says you have to be prepared to cut off contact completely if necessary.
That's right.
Why is that?
Because narcissists often see any form of contact as an opportunity
Okay.
to manipulate and regain control.
Gotcha.
And they might try to hoover you back in.
Hoover.
What's hoovering? Yeah. It's a tactic where they shower you with attention and affection,
Mm-hmm.
only to pull away again once they've regained your trust.
So even a simple text message or phone call
Right.
could be a way for them to try and worm their way back in.
Yes. Even seemingly innocent gestures
Wow.
can be part of their manipulative game.
Okay.
That's why it's essential to be vigilant and consistent with your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to protect yourself and your well-being.
Right.
And sometimes that means cutting off contact completely.
It sounds incredibly difficult, especially if there are children involved.
It is. It's a decision that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's the only way to truly break free from the narcissist's influence and start to heal.
Yeah, this whole conversation really highlights the long-term impact
Yes.
of narcissistic abuse. It's
Yeah.
not something that just disappears overnight,
It's not.
even after you've left the relationship.
Recovering from narcissistic abuse is a journey,
Yeah.
and it can take time and effort.
Right.
You might struggle with feelings of guilt, shame, self-doubt, anxiety, and even PTSD.
Lee talks about how leaving a narcissist isn't about revenge
Right.
or trying to win.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming your life and finding peace.
That's a really powerful message.
Yeah.
It's about shifting the focus from the narcissist to yourself,
Right.
to your own healing and growth.
And recognizing that you deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, and love.
Absolutely. Leaving a toxic relationship with a narcissist is ultimately an act of self-love and self-preservation.
It's not a sign of weakness or failure as they might try to make you believe.
No,
It takes incredible strength and courage
it does.
to break free from that kind of abuse.
You're absolutely right. It's an act of incredible resilience
Mhm.
and a testament to your inner strength.
So what does this all mean for our listener who might be in this exact situation right now?
Right.
What are the key takeaways they should keep in mind?
I think the most important takeaway is this. Your safety is paramount. If you're in immediate danger, reach out for help.
Mm.
There are resources available, including hotlines, shelters, and support groups.
Right.
You don't have to go through this alone.
Yeah, and remember, you are not alone.
Yeah,
There are people who understand what you're going through
absolutely.
and want to help.
Yeah.
And it's also crucial to start developing that exit plan.
Yes.
And this might include identifying those trusted individuals who can provide support,
right.
securing financial resources if possible, gathering important documents
Right.
like passports and birth certificates,
Yes.
finding safe housing options,
Absolutely.
consulting with a lawyer to understand your legal rights.
Those are important steps.
And don't underestimate the power of professional help.
No.
A therapist specializing in narcissistic abuse can provide that guidance, support, and strategies
Yeah.
for coping with the emotional toll of this experience.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy, but with the right support and resources, it's possible to break free from the narcissist's grasp and reclaim your life.
Lee's video is incredibly insightful,
It is.
but it can also be overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's just so much to process and consider.
It's definitely a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that everyone's situation is unique.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution.
So where do we go from here?
Right.
What's the next step for our listener who's ready to start taking action?
Yeah, it can feel paralyzing, knowing you need to make a change, but like facing this mountain of information
Right.
and potential obstacles.
Right.
But instead of getting lost in the enormity of it all,
Yeah.
I think the next step is about bringing it back to yourself,
Oh.
to your specific situation.
Okay. So kind of like tailoring a suit. You've got the general pattern.
Yes.
Now you need to make it fit perfectly.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Right.
It's about taking all this knowledge about narcissistic abuse and asking yourself some key questions. What are my biggest fears in this situation? Who are my true allies, the people I can absolutely count on,
Right.
and who might be under the narcissist's influence?
Right.
What resources are available to me right here in my community?
So it sounds almost like creating a personal roadmap for escape,
Exactly.
taking into account your individual circumstances and needs.
And a crucial part of that roadmap is honestly assessing your financial situation.
Right.
If you're dependent on the narcissist financially, how can you start building even a small degree of independence?
Mm-hmm.
It might feel daunting, but even small steps can make a huge difference over time.
And I imagine this is where those professional resources that Lee mentioned
Yes,
can really come in handy.
they can.
Having a therapist or counselor to guide you through this process to help you strategize, stay focused,
Absolutely.
can be incredibly empowering.
They can also help you address the emotional and psychological wounds left by the abuse,
Yeah.
because leaving is just the first step. Healing from the trauma of narcissistic abuse takes time, self-compassion, and often professional support.
You know, one thing that really stuck with me from Lee's video
Yeah.
is his point that leaving a narcissist isn't a one-time event.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that?
Well, I think he's acknowledging that the narcissist might not just let you walk away easily. They might try to hoover you back in
Yeah.
using all their manipulative tricks to regain control.
Right.
Or you might find yourself struggling with waves of self-doubt,
Okay.
questioning your decision, or even feeling guilty for leaving.
Right.
This is where having that solid support system in place and potentially ongoing therapy becomes so crucial.
So it's almost like you're preparing for a marathon, not a sprint.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Recovery from narcissistic abuse is a journey, and there will be ups and downs along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But with each step you take, with each boundary you set,
Yeah.
you're reclaiming your power, your voice, and your sense of self.
And Lee's video is a wake-up call for sure.
It is.
But it also ends on this note of hope.
It does.
He talks about how leaving isn't about revenge or trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's about choosing yourself and creating a life filled with peace and authenticity.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
It is.
To break free from the toxicity and rediscover who you are outside the shadow of the narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
To rebuild a life based on genuine connection, self-respect, and joy.
It's inspiring to think about.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a path toward healing and a brighter future.
It's a journey worth taking.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go through it alone. Remember, there are resources, support systems, and people who care.
So for our listener out there who's taking this all in, maybe feeling a mix of fear and hope,
Yeah.
what would you say is the most important thing to remember right now?
You are stronger than you think. You deserve to be treated with love and respect. And taking that first step, even if it's just reaching out for help, is a powerful act of self-love.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a heavy but important conversation.
Yeah, it is.
And if you are experiencing abuse, please reach out to a helpline or support group.
Please do.
There is help available, and you don't have to go through this alone. Until next time, take care.
All right, so you guys wanted to hear more about relationships, and I think this Jordan Peterson video you sent is the perfect place to start.
Yeah, it's really interesting how he frames the whole conversation.
Like, starting with the idea that being single forever could lead to some serious problems.
Right. Like he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But he backs it up with some pretty compelling arguments.
Yeah, he's coming at it from the perspective that we're fundamentally social creatures. You know? We need that interaction with others to stay mentally and emotionally healthy.
It's true. Even just little things like a smile from a stranger or a quick chat with the cashier at the grocery store can make a difference.
Absolutely. Those small interactions help us calibrate our behavior and make sure we're on the right track.
Oh.
Peterson even goes so far as to say that we outsource a big chunk of our sanity to our social network.
Whoa. Okay, that's a pretty powerful statement.
It is. But think about it. Our families teach us the basics. Then our friends challenge us and help us grow. And romantic partners provide a whole other level of support and intimacy.
And without those connections, it's easier to fall into unhealthy patterns or lose sight of what's really important.
Exactly. So it's not just about finding someone to, go to the movies with or whatever. It's a much deeper need that impacts our well-being on a fundamental level.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this is so important. But finding and maintaining those relationships, especially romantic ones, feels harder than ever these days.
Yeah, no kidding. Dating apps ghosting the whole thing can feel like a minefield.
So how do we even begin to navigate this mess?
Well, Peterson had some interesting thoughts on that too. He talks about how the rise of casual relationships fueled by technology has made it harder to find those deeper connections.
I can see that. It's like we're bombarded with options, but it's hard to know who's actually looking for something real.
Right. It's like we have all these tools for connection, but we lack the skills and mindset to actually build lasting bonds.
So where do we go from here? We need these relationships for our sanity, but finding them feels almost impossible.
Well, Peterson argues that relationships actually serve multiple purposes. And understanding these can help us navigate this complexity.
Okay, I'm listening.
He highlights 3 key areas: having children, providing mutual support, and fostering personal growth.
Okay, let's break those down. Starting with support. I love that analogy he uses about the 2 ropes intertwined.
Oh yeah. Alone, each rope can break under pressure, but woven together, their strength is amplified. That's the essence of what a partner provides, that unwavering support that helps us through tough times.
I love that. It's so simple, but so true. But honestly, sometimes it feels like I'm the one doing all the supporting.
So that's where the growth aspect comes in.
Yeah.
And this is where Peterson uses an analogy that might seem a bit strange at first. He compares a good marriage to Jacob wrestling with the angel in the Old Testament.
Hold on, wrestling with an angel, what does that have to do with marriage?
It's a metaphor for the challenges and even pain that can come with being in a committed relationship. In the story, Jacob ends up with a permanent injury from this wrestling match. But through that struggle, he receives a blessing and a new name signifying transformation.
So Peterson's saying that conflict is inevitable and even necessary for a relationship to thrive. That's not exactly the romantic fairy tale we're sold.
Right. It's about embracing those disagreements, those wrestling matches, as opportunities to learn and evolve alongside your partner.
So by grappling with different perspectives, we refine our own views, challenge our assumptions, and become better versions of ourselves.
Exactly. It's not about avoiding conflict, but learning to engage in it constructively.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But how do we do that without tearing each other apart?
That's a great question. And that's where Peterson's idea of marriage as a sacrament comes in. He emphasizes that it's not just a legal or biological union, but a profound spiritual commitment with a deeper purpose.
Whoa, a sacrament. That sounds pretty serious.
It is. And he goes back to his earlier point about relationships being crucial for our sanity. Peterson suggests that marriage, this sacrament of two people choosing to wrestle with each other and with life's challenges together, is actually a path to something greater than ourselves.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued, but also a little overwhelmed. We've gone from swiping left on dating apps to wrestling with angels and contemplating the sacredness of marriage.
I know, right? But that's the beauty of diving deep with Peterson. He forces us to confront the complexities of relationships and consider their profound impact on our lives. But don't worry, he also offers some very practical advice for couples who want to make their relationships thrive.
Okay, good. Because honestly, with all the demands of modern life, just keeping the relationship afloat can feel like a Herculean effort.
I hear you. And Peterson gets that. In fact, that's exactly what we'll explore in the next part. We'll dive into his practical advice for couples, including some surprisingly simple habits that can make a world of difference.
So you're telling me there's hope? That we can actually make these relationships work, even with all the craziness of modern life?
There is. And you know what? Peterson doesn't suggest some grand sweeping gestures or anything like that.
Ah, thank goodness for that.
He focuses on simple, consistent habits that can really create a strong foundation.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the secret sauce?
One of his most practical pieces of advice is to schedule a weekly 90-minute conversation with your partner.
90 minutes, seriously. That seems like a lot to carve out when you're both juggling work, kids, and just life in general.
I know it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't have to be this formal, structured thing. You know?
Okay.
It's more about intentionally creating space to connect and communicate on a deeper level.
So more than just going over the logistics of who's picking up the kids from soccer practice.
Right, exactly. It's about really tuning in to each other's thoughts and feelings and preventing things from building up and exploding later.
That makes sense. So it's like a proactive approach to communication, rather than just waiting for things to hit a boiling point.
Exactly. And you know what else he recommends? At least one, ideally 2 date nights per week.
Okay, now that's something I can get behind. Dinner, a movie, a little romance.
Yeah, but it's more than just keeping the romance alive. It's about creating dedicated time for shared experiences, laughter, connection, outside of the daily grind.
I see. Like a mini adventure you embark on together.
Exactly. And it all goes back to that idea of intentionally investing in the relationship. These consistent habits, even if they feel a bit forced at first, send a powerful message that the relationship matters.
Yeah, it's a priority amidst all the other craziness of life.
Exactly. And speaking of craziness, this brings us back to the challenges of modern dating.
Yeah.
Peterson has a lot to say about the complexities of finding meaningful connections in a world that's so focused on instant gratification.
Yeah, it's like technology has connected us in so many ways, but it's also made dating a whole lot more complicated.
He specifically talks about online dating. He acknowledges that it's helped some people find partners, but he also suggests it might be contributing to higher divorce rates.
Really? How so? I thought online dating was supposed to make finding the one easier.
You would think right. But his theory is that the ease of finding new partners online can actually lower the perceived cost of leaving a relationship.
That's interesting.
It's like, if it feels easier to find someone new, you might be less inclined to work through challenges when things get tough.
That makes sense. It's like the grass is always greener syndrome.
Exactly. But Peterson argues that the sheer volume of options and the constant exposure to perfect profiles online can really amplify this effect.
It creates this illusion that there's always someone better out there just to swipe away.
Right. So it's not just about finding someone who checks all the boxes on your wish list. It's about cultivating a mindset of commitment and a willingness to work through those inevitable bumps in the road.
It's about choosing to see the potential in someone and to invest the time and effort to build something real.
Exactly. And that ties back to Peterson's central point about relationships requiring effort, intentionality, and a deep understanding of their purpose. It's not about finding someone to complete us, but about choosing someone to grow alongside, to wrestle with, and to ultimately become better versions of ourselves through that shared journey.
I like that. It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. And it's a journey that's full of twists and turns and challenges, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the light here. It's about moving beyond the superficial and embracing the depth and complexity that come with truly meaningful connections.
And you know, this whole idea of growth within relationships is a theme that Peterson returns to time and again.
Yeah, he really emphasizes that. It's like he's saying, look, this is going to be challenging, there will be friction, but it's through those challenges that you'll discover the true strength and beauty of what a partnership can offer.
And he even talks about how this idea is reflected in many cultures, where marriage is considered a sacrament, a sacred union with a deeper purpose.
Right. It's not just about finding someone to share your life with, but someone who helps you become more complete within yourself.
And that's a really powerful message, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's like he's reframing the whole concept of what a successful relationship looks like.
He's challenging us to move beyond the fairy tale ending and embrace the messy, challenging, and ultimately transformative journey of growing together.
And that's what's really sticking with me after this deep dive. It's about recognizing that relationships aren't about achieving some static state of bliss, but about embarking on a dynamic, ever-evolving adventure with someone who challenges you to become the best version of yourself.
Exactly. It's about choosing to see those inevitable wrestling matches, not as failures, but as opportunities to deepen your understanding of yourself, your partner, and the profound power of human connection.
Okay, I'm ready to wrestle. Bring on the challenges.
That's the spirit. And on that note, let's take a quick break and come back to explore this idea of growth within relationships even further.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I'm still a little fuzzy on how this wrestling for growth actually plays out in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. It can be a little abstract.
Does Peterson give any, concrete examples?
He does. And it often boils down to those everyday interactions, the ones that can either build up resentment or create opportunities for deeper understanding.
Okay, I'm listening.
So imagine this. You and your partner are planning a vacation.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
But you have totally different ideas about what you want to do. You're picturing yourself relaxing on a beach with a good book.
Oh, yeah. That's totally me.
But your partner is craving adventure. They want to hike mountains and go whitewater rafting.
I've been there. My partner and I have very different travel styles.
Exactly. So instead of letting those differences devolve into an argument, Peterson suggests using this as an opportunity to understand each other's underlying motivations.
Okay, how do we do that?
Well, maybe your partner craves adventure because they feel stuck in a rut at work, and this trip is their chance to feel alive again. Or maybe you're longing for relaxation because you've been feeling overwhelmed and just need a break from all the stimulation.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that. It's about digging deeper and trying to see things from their perspective.
Right. Even if you don't necessarily agree. And this is where that 90-minute conversation comes in handy.
Okay.
It creates a space to have these conversations without judgment, to really hear each other out, and to try to find a compromise.
It's like turning a potential conflict into an opportunity for growth, both individually and as a couple.
Exactly. And that's what's so brilliant about Peterson's approach. He's challenging us to reframe the way we view relationships.
To see them not as a source of constant happiness.
Right, but as a crucible for personal transformation.
So it's not about finding someone who perfectly aligns with all our preferences, but someone who pushes us to expand our horizons and become more well-rounded individuals.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off finding the perfect match, and instead invites us to embrace the messy, imperfect journey of growing together.
That's what I'm taking away from this deep dive. It's not about achieving some static state of bliss in our relationships,
Right.
but about embarking on a dynamic, ever-evolving adventure with someone who challenges you to become the best version of yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's about choosing to see those inevitable wrestling matches, not as failures, but as opportunities to deepen your understanding of yourself, your partner, and the incredible power of human connection.
So to wrap things up, I want to leave you with this question. How can you embrace the challenges in your own relationships as catalysts for growth? How can you create those spaces for open communication and shared experiences that nurture both connection and individual evolution?
Remember, the strongest relationships aren't built on finding perfection, but on embracing the messy, beautiful journey of becoming better together. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
All right, so you know how we all want to get better at communicating, right?
Yeah.
Really improve those skills, whether it's with our partners or just anyone.
Yeah.
And well, for this deep dive, we're turning to Steph Anya.
Oh, great choice.
Her YouTube video, Couples Therapist 10 Tips for Good Communication, is packed with insights.
Definitely.
And while she focuses on couples, a lot of her advice can apply to anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like we're all sitting in on a therapy session together, getting some personalized advice.
I like that.
So one of the first things that struck me is how Steph Anya redefines the whole goal of communication.
Oh, how so?
Well, we often go into conversations thinking we need to win to prove our point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But she completely flips the script.
Really?
She's saying that understanding should be the real goal.
That's interesting.
Makes you think, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like, why are we so fixated on winning arguments anyway?
Well, it probably comes down to a few things.
Like what?
Well, ego, for one.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe a fear of being vulnerable, too.
Vulnerability, huh?
Think about it. Admitting we might be wrong can feel like a threat.
To our ego?
Exactly. But what if we saw it as a chance to learn and grow instead?
I mean, that's where the real magic happens, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I can already feel a shift in my thinking here.
Good.
So how do we actually make that shift from, combat mode to connection mode?
Well, Steph Anya has this concept of active listening, or reflective listening.
Right, I remember that from the video.
And she uses a scenario with Angela and Brenda to kind of show how it works.
Oh, yeah, that was a good example.
Really shows how easy it is for misunderstandings to happen.
Even with simple stuff.
Yeah, like Angela brings up a concern, and Brenda just repeats back what she heard.
So Angela has a chance to clarify.
Right, exactly.
But that back and forth can feel so slow at first.
It can, yeah.
I'll be honest, when I first heard about this technique, I was like, who has time for all this echoing?
I get that.
I'm more of a get to the point kind of person.
Sure, but the power really is in that slowness.
You think so?
It forces us to actually listen.
Instead of just planning our response
Exactly.
while the other person's still talking.
You got it, and that's crucial for any topic, really.
Especially sensitive ones.
Absolutely.
So it's like hitting pause on our assumptions and really tuning in
Yes.
to the other person's frequency.
I love that analogy.
And Steph Anya doesn't stop there.
What else does she say?
She talks about setting the stage for a good conversation.
Oh, that's so important.
We've all been there, right?
Tried to have a heart-to-heart in the worst possible environment,
Oh, yeah, totally.
like a loud, crowded place, or when we're stressed and exhausted. Never.
I tried to have a deep conversation in a crowded restaurant once. Disaster.
Yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster.
But Steph Anya goes even further than that.
Oh, really? In what way?
She suggests incorporating rituals to create a calming atmosphere.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
That she gave an example of couples who always discuss finances over a glass of wine.
Sounds quirky.
Right.
But maybe it works.
Who knows? It might just work.
So it's about being intentional.
Yeah, creating an environment that feels safe and open for communication.
Setting a signal that this conversation matters.
Exactly. Okay, so we've set the stage. We're in the right headspace.
Right.
How do we make sure our message actually gets across clearly?
Yeah, because we've all had that experience.
Of talking and feeling like we're not being heard.
That's the worst.
So frustrating.
And Steph Anya gives some really practical tips for this. Well, speaking slowly and concisely for one,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
and using language that your audience can connect with.
Makes sense.
Oh, and she also cautions against using overly complex language.
Interesting.
Sometimes we hide behind all that jargon and intellectualism.
Yeah, and it just gets in the way of real connection.
Exactly.
Almost like we're trying to impress instead of express.
Yeah.
Definitely been guilty of that one.
Oh, me too.
Now let's talk about the unspoken communication.
Body language.
Exactly. It's not just what you say, but how you say it, right?
Well, absolutely.
Eye contact, posture, even small gestures can speak volumes.
It really can.
Steph Anya makes this point that these nonverbal cues can build connection.
Or create distance.
Yeah, even when our words are saying something totally different.
That's fascinating.
How much we communicate without even realizing it.
It really is.
You know what? Let's try something fun.
Okay.
I'm going to channel my inner therapist here and demonstrate some good and bad body language examples.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so first, bad body language. Imagine I'm crossing my arms and looking away.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Not exactly inviting, right? Now let's try good body language. I'm leaning in, making eye contact and smiling.
Okay, much better.
Right, big difference.
Huge difference.
We're sending signals all the time, whether we mean to or not.
So true.
Okay, so we've talked about setting the stage, speaking effectively, and being aware of our body language.
What's next in our communication toolkit?
I'm ready to learn more.
Me too. Well, Stefania brings up this tool that couples therapists love.
Oh yeah, I statements.
Exactly.
They sound pretty simple,
They do.
but I bet there's more to them than meets the eye.
You're right. There's a real art to using them well.
So how do we master the art of I statements?
Well, the basic structure is, I feel blank when you do blank.
Oh.
And that really shifts the focus
From what?
from, like, mind reading.
Yeah.
You know, or making assumptions.
About the other person's intention.
Exactly. It's about expressing your own experience.
So instead of saying, you always ignore me,
Right.
you'd say something like, I feel ignored when you scroll through your phone while I'm talking.
Exactly. It's way less accusatory.
And it sounds less like you're blaming them,
Right. And it actually highlights a principle from the Gottman Institute.
which is,
Focus on specific behaviors, not interpretations.
okay, I like that.
So your mean is an interpretation.
Right.
But you scroll through your phone while I'm talking, that's a behavior.
That's a good distinction.
It gives the other person something concrete to work with.
Instead of feeling attacked.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And speaking of avoiding misunderstandings,
Yeah.
Stefania also talks about staying on topic.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We've all been in those conversations
Where it starts about one thing.
and then spirals out of control.
Totally. It's like every past grievance comes up.
It's like emotional whiplash.
You start talking about who forgot to take out the trash.
Right.
And end up rehashing that argument about vacation plans from 6 months ago.
Haha, exactly. Not productive at all.
Not even a little bit.
And you know, it can actually be a form of gaslighting,
Oh, wait.
derailing the conversation, preventing any real resolution.
Wow. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, Stefania's advice is to focus on one issue at a time.
Resist the urge to bring up everything else.
Pick your battles.
I like that. Pick your battles.
It's about setting boundaries even in a conversation.
Right, because even with the best communication skills, sometimes things just get in the way. You're right, external factors can sabotage our efforts.
Like trying to have a meaningful conversation when you're both exhausted.
Oh yeah, or in a noisy, chaotic environment.
It's a recipe for disaster.
You're hitting on another point Stefania makes.
Crashes,
Barriers to communication,
noise, stress fatigue.
all of those things.
They can really hinder our ability to listen and express ourselves.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have a perfect example of this.
Okay, tell me.
I once tried to have a serious conversation with my partner
Yeah.
while we were rushing to catch a flight. It was a complete disaster.
I can imagine.
The stress of the situation just took over.
Right, it overshadowed everything.
It really did.
That's a classic example of how our environment
An emotional state.
can just hijack our best intentions
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just postpone the conversation.
until you're both in a calmer headspace.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered a lot with Stefania.
We have.
Active listening,
Yes.
setting the stage,
Mhm.
speaking clearly, being mindful of our body language,
Right.
using I statements,
Important one.
and recognizing those barriers to communication.
That's a great summary.
It's like a toolkit for better relationships.
Exactly. And remember, these tips aren't just for romantic relationships.
Right.
They could apply to any interaction, really.
Think about work, friends, family.
It can make a big difference.
What if we incorporated active listening and clear language into all our conversations?
And focused on understanding instead of winning.
It would be a game changer.
Absolutely. So what's resonated most with you so far?
That's a good question.
Is there a tip you're excited to try out?
I think I'm most intrigued by setting the stage.
Oh, interesting. Why?
It seems so simple, but I've never really been that intentional about it.
Creating a calming ritual, finding the right time and place.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
What about you?
For me, it's the active listening piece.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
It's easy to fall into that trap of just waiting for our turn to talk.
Instead of really listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes practice, but it's so worth it.
It's true. And you know, Stefania doesn't just focus on romantic relationships.
Right. She talks about applying these skills in other areas too.
So it's not just for couples therapy.
Not at all.
It's about all our interactions.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
It really does.
How can we take these tools beyond couples therapy?
And use them every day.
That's the question.
Imagine active listening, not just for resolving conflicts with your partner,
But for connecting with friends,
brainstorming at work.
having better conversations with family,
It would transform the way we relate to each other.
instead of talking at each other,
We'd be truly engaging.
Understanding, connecting.
It's a beautiful vision.
It is.
And I think it's achievable.
I agree.
It starts with each of us making a choice.
To communicate with more intention.
More empathy, more awareness.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Every step towards more mindful communication brings us closer to that vision.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's like we're not just reacting to communication breakdowns anymore. We're actively building those connections.
It's a totally different mindset.
And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
Steph Anya focuses a lot on how these tools help us deal with conflict, resolve disagreements.
Right.
But I think there's more to it than that.
I think so too.
Like, what if we use these skills
To strengthen our connections overall.
not just fix problems?
Exactly.
Okay, so give me an example.
Well, imagine using active listening. Not just when your partner's upset.
But when they're sharing something they're excited about,
Exactly. Or using I statements to share appreciation.
not just frustration.
Right.
Wow, that's a whole new way of looking at it.
It's about weaving these skills into our everyday interactions.
Making them a natural part of how we relate to each other.
Exactly. And you know what?
Right.
Maybe we'd even have fewer conflicts to begin with.
You think so?
If we're always communicating clearly and with empathy.
Misunderstandings would be less likely to happen.
Right.
So it's not just about damage control.
It's about building something positive.
Something strong and resilient.
I love that analogy.
Like building a bridge
Brick by brick.
with each interaction.
Beautiful.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Stefania's wisdom, I want to leave our listeners with one last thought.
Okay.
We've talked about applying these skills to all kinds of relationships.
Right. With partners, friends, family.
But what about the relationship we have with ourselves?
Oh, that's such a good point.
We talked about self-care, self-love.
But what about self-communication?
Exactly. How can we use these tools to understand ourselves better?
Our thoughts, our feelings, our needs.
It's like active listening becomes introspection.
Paying attention to that inner voice.
And I statements become a way to acknowledge our own experiences.
Like I feel overwhelmed when I have too much on my plate.
Or I feel proud of myself when I try something new.
Right.
It's a whole new level of communication.
It really is.
So to our listeners out there,
Yes.
we encourage you to try these skills, not just with others.
But with yourselves too.
It's a journey of self-discovery
And it starts with that first step.
towards more mindful communication.
You don't have to be perfect at it.
Just start where you are.
And be patient.
The more you practice, the easier it gets.
And the rewards are huge.
Stronger relationships, a deeper sense of connection.
It's worth the effort.
So there you have it, folks.
Our deep dive into communication
Inspired by a couples therapist.
with a little extra food for thought.
We hope you found it helpful.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Until then, happy connecting. All right, so we're diving into this clip you sent from Chris Williamson's YouTube channel.
Okay.
And it's got Jordan Peterson on it, right?
That's right.
And I gotta say, this deep dive already, I could tell this is gonna be fascinating. It's not like just your typical relationship advice, is it? It's kind of like, we're going deeper, like how relationships can help us be better people or something.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way he uses philosophy and psychology.
Yeah.
And even like biblical stuff
Yeah.
to explore this idea.
Right.
And he starts off with this Reddit thread that asks these 5 questions
Oh, yeah.
about relationships.
Those are good. Those stop me in my tracks. Like,
Yeah.
would being compared to your partner be a compliment?
Right.
Whoa, that one made me think, like, honestly, does that make you feel good or bad? It makes you think, are you really with someone you admire?
Yeah, or are you settling?
Yeah, right. Is this really it?
Exactly. Those questions are like
Yeah.
a mirror forcing you to look honestly at your relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like, am I really happy?
Right.
Or am I just not lonely?
Yeah.
Can I be myself? Or am I like shaping myself to fit them?
Oh, for sure. And then there's the, are you in love with them as they are, or the person you think they could be?
Right.
Oof. That's tough.
Yeah.
And then, like, would you want your kid to date someone like them?
Whoa.
Yeah, that one cuts right to it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And Peterson says a lot of people just avoid these tough questions.
Yeah.
Because they're scared of the answer.
Totally. It's so much easier to not rock the boat, you know?
Yeah. And so they just coast along,
Right.
even if it means they're not really happy.
It's almost like we're procrastinating. Like
Yeah.
we're putting off dealing with a big decision, only it's our whole relationship.
Yeah.
And speaking of procrastination, Peterson makes this interesting point. He connects avoiding conflict to putting off self-improvement.
Right.
It's all about facing those things you don't want to face.
Yes.
About yourself and your relationship. Yeah, exactly. And what people often miss is this idea of finding the game.
Finding the game. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where both people's strengths are being used.
Okay.
So it creates something bigger than just the two of you.
So it's not really compromise. It's more like synergy, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. Can you give an example of, like, what does that look like in a real relationship? How do you find the game?
Sure. So imagine one person's really organized, like super detail oriented.
Okay, no, that type.
Yeah. And the other one's more creative.
Got it.
A visionary.
Okay.
Now, instead of butting heads over those differences,
Right.
they find a way to use them.
Uh-huh.
So maybe the organized one helps to structure the creative one's ideas.
Okay.
Well, the creative one brings in the passion and the spark.
The new ideas.
Yeah. To their project.
Oh, I love that. It's like building something amazing together where everyone brings their best, their special skills, and it creates this amazing end result.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. But, you know, this whole idea of facing these hard truths and the things you don't want to deal with,
Yeah.
it makes me think of something else Peterson said
Okay.
about those little annoyances in a relationship. Like,
Oh, yeah.
do you bring them up? Do you not?
He uses this great analogy
Okay.
of disciplining a child.
All right, I'm listening. How does that relate to relationships?
Okay, so think about it. If you never address a kid's bad behavior,
Because you don't want to deal with it.
yeah, because you want to avoid conflict.
Right.
What happens?
That gets worse, right?
Yeah, they keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it turns into a bigger problem.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who's ever dealt with a toddler who doesn't want to share their toys knows exactly what you mean.
Right. Exactly. So those little things,
Yeah.
if you don't address them,
Yeah.
they become big problems.
Big relationship
Yeah.
problems. Yeah.
It's about recognizing those patterns
Yeah.
and dealing with them in a good way,
Right.
even if it's a little uncomfortable.
So it's like those little annoyances, they're like little cracks in the foundation of the relationship. You ignore them, the whole thing could fall apart.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's where Peterson's 3 strikes rule comes in, right?
Yes.
Tell me more about that. That sounds pretty useful.
Okay, so it's simple. If your partner does something that bugs you,
Yeah.
don't react right away.
Okay.
Just notice it. Happens again. Same thing.
Okay.
But if it happens 3 times,
Oh.
then you address it.
Okay, that's interesting. But doesn't that, like, risk letting things go too long?
Right, and that's why self-awareness is so important.
Okay.
Peterson says sometimes the problem might actually be with you.
Oh.
Maybe you're being too sensitive,
Oh, okay.
or your expectations are just unrealistic.
Right, so you got to check yourself, make sure you're not overreacting.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between
So-
like addressing real problems and not making drama.
Gotcha. And you need to communicate.
Yes, definitely. When you talk about it,
Yeah.
do it respectfully
Okay.
and try to understand their side.
Got it. So we've talked about red flags and how to, like, deal with conflict without, you know, blowing everything up.
Right.
But what about the good stuff?
Yeah.
Like, how can relationships help us be better people? That's where the Michelangelo effect comes in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, tell me more about that. That one sounds interesting.
It's this beautiful idea that we all have this potential for greatness,
Okay.
like a statue hidden in a block of marble.
Oh.
And sometimes we need someone to help us
Yeah.
chip away the extra stuff
Okay.
to reveal that masterpiece.
This makes me think about the Taoist concept of the uncarved block.
Yes,
It's that, like, taking away the imperfections so you can see what's really there.
exactly. And the Michelangelo effect says our partners
Yeah.
can help us do that.
Okay.
Not by making us into someone different, right?
Right.
But by supporting us
Mm-hmm.
and challenging us to be our best.
It's like they can see what we could be even when we can't see it ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But how does that actually happen? What does that look like to, like, help someone be their best self?
Okay, so Peterson uses this kind of unexpected analogy to explain this.
Okay.
He talks about Adam and Eve,
Oh, okay, the Garden of Eden.
yeah, being expelled from paradise.
All right, how does he connect that to the Michelangelo effect?
So remember those cherubim with the like flaming sword?
Yeah, guarding the gates of paradise, right?
Right, guarding the, and they're pretty intimidating, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, you don't want to mess with them.
Exactly. And Peterson's saying those swords,
Yeah.
they represent the refining process
Okay.
we have to go through
Okay.
to reach our potential.
So they're not keeping us out of paradise.
Right.
They're like guiding us towards it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So those flaming swords, they're like the challenges we face in relationships. And working through those challenges, that's what refines us. Like Michelangelo chipping away at the marble.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, yeah.
It's about facing those uncomfortable truths.
Yeah.
The parts of ourselves that, need to be confronted and kind of like burned away.
Oh, okay. That makes me think of that saying, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Yes.
Getting rid of the bad stuff to get to the good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it shows how this whole process, even though it can be painful,
Yeah.
it's necessary for growth.
But isn't that a lot of pressure on our relationship? Shouldn't our partners love us for who we are, not for who they think we could be?
That's a good point, and that's where the balance comes in.
Okay.
True love isn't about trying to force someone to change.
Right.
It's about seeing their worth,
Yeah.
but also seeing their potential
Okay.
and encouraging them to grow.
So it's not like imposing your vision on them. It's more like supporting them to become the best version of themselves.
Exactly.
Like maybe instead of nagging your partner to clean up all the time,
Yeah.
you find a way to encourage their organizational skills, but in a way that celebrates their strengths.
That's perfect.
Okay.
And it shows how important communication is.
Okay.
Partners need to be able to really talk to each other.
Yeah.
Honestly and respectfully.
Right.
Share their observations
Yeah.
and concerns
Yeah.
and create a space for growth.
Without judgment.
Right, exactly.
And remember what Peterson said about self-awareness.
yes.
Sometimes what we see as a flaw in our partner
Uh-huh.
is actually something we need to work on in ourselves.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Maybe you're criticizing your partner's messy desk, but maybe it's your own need for control that's the problem.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to look at your own baggage just as much as you want them to look at theirs.
Yeah.
It's about realizing we're both works in progress.
Right. Yeah.
We're all evolving and
Constantly changing.
yes,
Yeah.
through all the ups and downs
The good and the bad.
of the relationship.
Yeah. This is making me think of we're all these rough stones,
Yeah.
tumbling around in the river of life and slowly smoothing out our rough edges
Yes.
as we bump up against each other.
It's a great image.
Yeah.
It really captures the dynamic of relationships.
And these flaming swords Peterson talks about, they're not just about individual growth, are they?
No, they also make the bond stronger.
So the challenges we go through together,
Yes.
they actually bring us closer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Going through tough times with someone, it shows you who they really are.
Right. And when you make it through those times,
Yeah.
it builds trust
Yeah.
and resilience
Yeah.
and a deeper understanding
Yeah.
of each other.
It's like you're creating something beautiful together.
Yes.
Even when things are messy.
Exactly.
This whole conversation is making me think about my own relationships differently.
Yeah.
It's not about finding the perfect person. It's about
Right.
growing together.
Yeah. And remember what Peterson said about the goal being
Oh, yeah.
to make every day feel like
Yeah.
the best parts,
Yeah.
the best dates you've ever had.
Yeah, that's a good one. That reminds us that love isn't just about those big moments.
Right.
It's about those everyday things.
Yes.
Where you really appreciate each other.
Exactly.
So we've talked about red flags and dealing with conflict and the Michelangelo effect, but what about those 5 questions from that Reddit thread?
Oh, yeah.
Those were really the starting point for this whole deep dive.
You're right. Those questions are really powerful for
Yeah.
looking at yourself.
Yeah.
They can help you figure out
Yeah.
the foundation of your relationship. And if you're both really growing.
Yeah. Are you on the right track?
Exactly.
And I think that leads us to our final thought for you today. We want you to think about this. What uncarved block, potential, might be hidden inside you or your partner?
Okay.
What parts of yourselves are just waiting to be revealed
Right.
through love and support and being honest with each other?
And think about those flaming swords
Yeah.
guarding paradise.
Right.
What challenges are you facing right now
Oh, yeah.
in your relationship?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because those challenges,
Yeah.
they can actually be these opportunities
Yeah.
for huge growth
Yeah, for both of you.
for both of you. Yeah, as individuals.
Together and separately.
As a couple.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's in those tough moments, when you're
Yeah.
forced to really look at your own limits
Yeah.
and the limits of your partner,
Yeah.
that's when you can really change.
Right.
It's those rough edges rubbing up against each other.
And smoothing each other out over time.
It's like forging metal in fire, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The heat's intense,
Yeah.
but that's what makes it strong.
That's what makes it strong.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So, like, embrace those challenges.
Don't be afraid of
Yeah.
the tough conversations.
Don't shy away.
Right.
And remember, love isn't about finding the perfect person.
No.
It's about going on this journey
Yes.
of growing and changing together.
Yeah, with someone
But for someone who
inspires you
pushes you to be better.
to be your best.
Yeah. And who knows?
Yeah.
You might just find that the most amazing thing you'll ever create
Yeah.
is what you build together
Yeah.
through love and patience and facing those flaming swords side by side.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's it for this deep dive.
Okay.
We hope you found it, interesting and thought-provoking
Yeah.
and maybe even a little bit challenging.
Well, until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep
Yes.
into love and figuring out who you really are.